Hello everyone. Today we are discussing the NCERT questions from the chapter Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Okay, the first question is name the part of an angiosperm flower in which development of male and female gametophyte takes place. So here asking the part of the male and female in where the gametophytes were taking place. So which are the parts? In male it is anther and in female that is ovary. Clear? Second question. Okay, before reading our second question, I think all of you have textbook. Okay, so please be open your textbook and follow the questions. So second question is differentiate between microsporogenesis and megasporogenesis. Which type of cell division occurs during these events? Name the structures formed at the end of these two events. So microsporogenesis means formation of the pollen mothers, formation of microspores from the diploid microspore mother cell or pollen mother cell. Megasporogenesis means it is a process of formation of haploid megaspores from the diploid megaspore mother cell. Okay. So, the microsporogenesis occurs in the anther and the megasporogenesis occurs in the nucellus of ovule. Okay, clear it is. Then, many microspore mother cells are seen in a microsporangium and a single megaspore is seen in the megaspore mother cell. Then 4 microspores are formed from a single microspore mother cell and 4 megaspores are formed from a megaspore mother cell. Okay, and microspore gives rise to a male gametophyte and megaspore gives rise to a female gametophyte. Clear it is. So here the gametes are haploid. Always the gametes are haploid. Next question is arrange the following terms in the correct developmental sequence. Here given the terms pollen grain, sporogenous tissue, microspore tetrad, pollen mother cell, male gametes. So the correct order is first forming sporogenous tissue, then pollen mother cell, then microspore tetrad, pollen grain and male gamete. Okay, question number 4. With a neat label diagram, describe the parts of a typical angiosperm ovule. Okay, so typical angiosperm ovule is an anatropous ovule. So you have to draw the typical angiosperm ovule and label all the parts very clearly. Okay, use pencil for drawing and labeling too. What is meant by, next question number 5, what is meant by monosporic development of a female gametophyte? Monosporic. So out of the 4 megaspores, 3 degenerate and only 1 remains functional. Okay, which develop into a female gametophyte or the embryo sac. This is called monosporic development. Mono means 1. Okay, when embryo sac develops from one single megaspore, it is called monosporic embryo sac. Question number 6. With a neat diagram and explain the 7-celled 8-nucleate nature of the female gametophyte. Question is a 7-celled 8-nucleate. Okay, the structure of embryo sac, that is. So, the female gametophyte or embryo sac is a small oval structure that contains 3-celled egg apparatus, 3 antipodal cells and 1 binucleate central nuclei. Okay, so that is 7-celled or 8-nucleate structure. All the structures of the egg apparatus, antipodal cell, central cell, all having their own function in the formation of, or means that having their they are having some roles in fertilization and the post-fertilization events. Question number 7. What are chasmogamous flower? Can cross-pollination occur since clistogamous flowers? Give reasons your answers. So, chasmogamous flowers means the flowers are open. So, anther and the stigma get the chance for the cross-pollination. But in clistogamous, the flowers is not open. So, anther will shed in the stigma of the same flower. So, there may be a less chance for forming a new variety. Okay. Next question is mention 2 strategies evolved to prevent self-pollination in flowers. So what are the strategies evolved in the flowers to avoid self-pollination? That means the stigma, the anther and the stigma not mature at the same time. Okay. Then that is known as maturation of anthers and stigma different time periods. That is known as dichogamy. Dicho. D-I-C-H-O-G-A-M-Y. Dichogamy. And the production of unisexual flowers are also an example for for preventing the self-pollination in flowers. Next question is, what is self-incompatibility? Why does self-pollination not lead to seed formation in self-incompatible species? So self-incompatibility or self-sterility is the inability of an intersexual or bisexual plant to produce viable seeds. Okay, on self-pollination. So here fertilization does not take place, so no seeds are forming by the self-compatible species. Next question is, what is bagging technique? How is it useful in a plant breeding program? So what is a bagging technique? Bagging technique means it is the covering of the female plant with a butter paper or polythene to avoid contamination from the foreign pollens during breeding program. Clear? Next question is question number 11, that is, what is triple fusion? So name indicate that triple three. Okay, so where does this process take place? Name the nuclei are involved in the triple fusion. So triple fusion is the fusion of one male gamete and the two polar nuclei. So here in the central cell of the embryo sac to form the primary endosperm nucleus. It takes place in the central cell of an embryo sac. So three nuclei are involved in triple fusion, one male nucleus and two polar nuclei in the central cell. Okay, that's why it is known as triple. Next question is, why do you think the zygote is dominant for some time in a fertilized ovule? The zygote is dormant. The zygote is dormant for some time in a fertilized ovule because the embryo which is developed from zygote may obtain nutrition from endosperm. That's why the zygote is dormant for. Okay. Next question is, differentiate between hypocotyle, epicotyle, integument and testa, coleoptile and coleorhiza, perisperm and pericarp. So first of all, I discussing hypocotyle. So what is the difference between hypocotyle and the epicotyle? Hypocotyle is the region of the embryonal axis lies between the radicle. Okay, so radicle and the point of attachment of the cotyledon. So hypocotyle pushes the seeds above the soil in a apical germination. So it is an important part of the embryonic root system. Then epicotyle, it is a part of the embryonic shoot system. Epicotyle pushes the plumule above the soil. Okay, then the epicotyle portion seen that lies between the plumule and the cotyledon. Next is coleoptile and coleorhiza. Coleoptile, it covers the shoot apex and few leaf primordia are enclosed in a hollow foliar structure in epicotyle region that is known as coleoptile. It emerges from the soil, turns green and carries out photosynthesis. So coleorhiza is the protective covering of the radicle. So it remains inside the soil. Okay, it is not green in color. Then next is integument. It is a protective covering of the ovule. Okay, that means nucellus. It is thin and living. Then testa is the protective covering of the seed. First one is the integument is the protective covering of the ovule, and the testa is the protective covering of the seed, and it is a thick and dead. Okay, and integument is a part of pre-fertilization, and the testa is a part of post-fertilization. Clear it is. Then the next is perisperm and the pericarp. Pericarp is the fleshy, the fruit portion that we are eating. Okay, the part which belongs to the fruit. Then perisperm means it is part belong to the seed. It is usually dry. It represents the remains of nucellus in the seed. Remains of nucellus in the seed. Next question, why is apple called a false fruit of the flowers from the fruit? The false fruit means that floral parts. The thalamus is a floral part. The fruit formation occurs in the thalamus. That's why it is known as a false fruit. Next question, what is meant by emasculation? When and why does a plant breeder employ this technique? Emasculation means the practice of removal of stamens or anthers before the anther dehisces from the bisexual flowers in female parent. A plant breeder employs this technique to in the bud condition before the anthers begin to differentiate. It is required for the required to prevent the self-pollination. Okay. Next question is, if one can induce parthenocarpy through the application of growth substances, which fruits would you select to induce parthenocarpy and why? So the fruits having the number of seeds, okay, that fruits will be selecting for the parthenocarpic to get parthenocarpic fruits or does not having the seeds. Okay, so we are suggesting orange, watermelon, lemon like that. Okay, clear it is. When the seeds are removing, it is easy to make fruit juice, jams, etc. Next question number 17. Explain the role of tapetum in the formation of pollen grain wall. Tapetum is the innermost wall layer of microsporangium. It nourishes the developing pollen grains and also help in the formation of the wall pollen grains. The cells of tapetum secrete which granules that provide sporopollenin and other materials for the exine formation. Next question is, what is apomixis and what is the importance of apomixis? Apomixis is a type of a sexual reproduction that mimics the sexual reproduction to form seeds without fertilization. Okay, so it is that hybrid seeds are made by the apomictics process. So this is about our textbook question, NCERT textbook question, sexual reproduction flowering plants chapter. No need of writing all these questions in your notebook. I hope all you know these answers. Okay, so if you have any confusion with any question, you just ask to me. Clear it is.